All right, we're live. Dan Claps here, CEO of Voda Cleaning and Restoration. And today, what we're going to be talking about is how to generate leads in a scalable and sustainable way in really any business. How to get customers to want to buy your product and want to, participate in your business, right? This is the bloodline of business, whether you're a franchise owner, a home service business owner, maybe you're a franchise consultant, whatever your business is, if you need to get leads of people who want to buy and utilize your service or product, then you have to understand the principles around advertising and finding franchise or finding leads, right? Whether you're a franchise consultant looking for franchise owners, whether you're a franchise or looking for franchise owners, maybe you're a gym business owner or a painting company or a plumber, and you need to get more people who are ready, willing, and able to use your service and buy your product. That's the key to running any business, right? Is finding customers. And so today we're going to be talking about how to get customers and how to find them through lead generation tactics. So I'm going to start off with a little bit about me. I'm Dan Claps, CFE, certified franchise executive, well known in the franchise industry. And I serve as the CEO and co-founder of Voda Cleaning and Restoration. We're a 100 location franchise chain. And one of the reasons we're growing is our ability to find leads, right? And so let's talk about how we apply that. And a little bit further about me. I've been in the lead generation space since 2014. I built a lead generation company that I sold to private equity. It was very large, very well known for lead gen. That's what I've studied. And I've made every mistake that you can think of. So more about me. I'm highly regarded in the franchise industry as a lead generation expert and building companies that run without myself. And how do I build companies that run without me? I rely on lead generation tactics as a big component of that, of predictable and scalable ways, sustainable ways to find people who want to pay money to utilize my services. And so once you learn the tactics and really what I call the 4 pillars of lead generation, once you learn them, you can't take them away. Right? Once you know how to do this, it's something you can do on and on. So let's talk about that. And again, how did I get here? My journey in learning how to generate leads is, the journey of 1,000 miles. Okay. I've learned the lessons of business the hard way so that I can hopefully teach you how to take what I've learned and apply it to you right now. I'll never forget, I was part of a franchise system. I was in my early 20s. I didn't have a ton of money, and they had all kinds of ways that they could market the business where you would pay money to make the phone ring by sending out direct mail campaigns. And what they would do is they would send out direct mail campaigns. In this case, it was to help get listings of business owners. They would send out direct mail campaigns and then call them on the phone and follow up. And I was afraid to spend the money. And that was a mistake. But instead, what I would do is I would go out and I would take mailers and I would write out a letter. And remember, the end customer was someone that wanted to sell their business. And so I would write a letter to the business owner. I'd write, thousands of them, hundreds of them. And the letter would basically say, I can help you evaluate your business. I can do a free business evaluation that you can utilize to know what your business is worth. I'm not saying you're looking to sell right now, but why not know what the business is worth and start to prepare with the end in mind, right? You can start to prepare your business to be able to be sold down the road. So my letter basically offered a lead magnet, which we're going to talk about, which was a free business evaluation. I knew how to do valuations to figure out the value of the business so they could know what their business was worth. It was just an idea of providing lots of value up front for free, tell them what their business was worth, and then they could take that and hopefully if they liked me, they would list their business with me now or maybe later. So we would write out this letter, and because I didn't have the money really to spend on marketing campaigns and was afraid to invest in marketing, I thought I could do it better, which was silly. But at the time, I thought I could do this. So we wrote out these letters, and I was, signing them personally, hundreds of them. And then what we did was we put them in an envelope, and we put a big red sticker on there that said company confidential, right? So big red sticker saying company confidential. I'd stuff the envelope, tape it. And then what I would do is early in the morning or late at night, I would go around town and I would stick the envelope on the door of the business, thinking that like usually the first to get there and the last to leave is the business owner, right? And so I would stick on their door when they had to open the door. There was a 0% chance they weren't going to see this letter unless they, didn't come to work that day or if it blew away. There was a letter. It said big red company confidential in font in red. And, it basically looked like they were maybe getting evicted. They would open it up and it would have my letter. And that was my way of generating leads. And I would do that every couple of months. I would go out and I would spend a lot of time, 2, 3, 4 days doing that. Then my phone would ring and I would go and I would list businesses. But the mistake that I made was I didn't understand the power of volume. I didn't understand that a more scalable business, I would not be doing that myself. I could pay someone, or in my case, the franchise, to send mailers. Every time I sent a mailer, I would get great results. If I sent 1,000 mailers, about 1% would respond, right? And so I had 10 decent phone calls would come back from them, and I would close one or two. So it was like, why not send 1,000 a week or a day, or even a month? And I didn't scale it up, and that was a big mistake. And so I had to bootstrap my way up. And if you're someone that wants to scale faster and you want to learn how to generate leads quicker, half the battle is just volume. I'll tell you another example of a story with mailers. I always tell people, like, how do you make good decisions? You make good decisions by gaining lots of experience. How do you get experience? You make bad decisions. I made all the bad decisions. So great example is, I'll never forget, someone told me about these mailers, and they said, you got to send out mailers. And I said, okay. And I went out and I sent out about 300 mailers. And I was all upset. And I saw this mentor of mine at the time. And I was like, what the hell? This doesn't work, man. I sent the mailers. I paid the money. I stuck them on the doors. It's not working. And he looked at me and he was like, 300. Dan, we test 5,000. And then we do 5,000 a day. What do you mean 300? And I was like, oh, okay. Got to get my numbers up here. And so what the point is, like, if you want to scale a home service business, maybe you're a franchise consultant business, maybe you're a realtor, maybe you're a mortgage broker, I don't care what business you're in. You have to understand the idea of volume, and scaling through volume with lead gen all comes down to understanding that you have to build a predictable and scalable and sustainable way of doing things. It has to be something that you can continually repeat without constantly doing it day to day, right? And so let's start off. Where do you start? Well, the first thing I'll tell you is what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to understand this concept around the 4 pillars of marketing. And so those 4 pillars, they really work around 4 different ways of generating leads. And this is the same way across any business. Okay, let's talk about what they are. Pillar number 1 is one-to-one warm outreach. One-to-one warm outreach means you are reaching out to someone one-to-one, whether you're calling them, you're meeting them for a coffee, you're sending them a letter, an email, whatever. One-to-one, but it's warm. So maybe you're reaching out to a referral from BNI, a networking group, a chamber of commerce, a conference, an event. Maybe it's someone that you're reaching out to that is, someone that you met them at a conference, you met them at a real estate event, you met them at a networking event, you met them somewhere. It's one-to-one. Second pillar is one-to-many warm outreach. So one-to-many would be like, you're reaching out to a free audience through free content. So your own Facebook channel, your own Instagram channel, your own, platforms, right? Free content going out to many, but it's a warm audience, right? You see this a lot of times with like network marketing, or like the people that sell like influencers, right? They go on their own channels and they try to sell through free content, their training program or their fitness program, whatever, one to many, but through their warm channels on social media. Then you scale up to the more scalable ways, which is one-to-one cold outreach. Again, there's only so many ways to make the phone ring, no matter what the business is. There's no silver bullet. If you learn how to do all of these and do them all really well, you will never not have enough leads to run your business. So the third pillar is one-to-one cold outreach. And one-to-many cold outreach is cold calls, direct cold emails, LinkedIn messages through like automations, direct mail campaigns to many, many, many people. It's cold, but you're deriving traffic through reaching out through many people, lots of one-to-ones, but in a cold audience. So again, cold email. You're not going to send 30 cold emails. You're going to send 30,000 cold emails. You're not going to make 100 cold calls. You're going to make 400 cold calls a day, right? You're never going to get anywhere with 100 cold calls. It's not enough. Remember my story about the mailers? I was sending out 300 mailers and scratching my head why it didn't work. Well, 1% of mailers only respond. So what did I expect? 300, 10%, it's 30. 3 people respond. 1 was a bad number. 1 didn't know what they were responding to. Maybe 1 was good, but I only did it 300 times, right? 1% is the response rate of direct mail. So if you're going to send out 1,000 mailers, you're going to send out 10,000 mailers if you want to see real results. Cold outreach is all about volume. You obviously have to make a good magnet. But let's go back to the story. I was a business broker. I didn't have a ton of money. I needed to make the phone ring. Instead of paying to do mailers, I printed letters, lots and lots of them. I wrote it out. It said, if you're interested in selling your business, reach out to me. And what I did was I used a lead magnet. I said, I'll give you a free business evaluation so you can know how much your business is worth. And then they would call for the free evaluation to learn how their business was worth. That would allow me to go to that's the bait. We're going to talk about this in a second, but that would allow me to go to their business, meet them, build rapport, provide massive value for free by giving them a free business evaluation, which, by the way, could be charged $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. It cost me money to do it. I'd spend $60 to work with my team to make sure it was done right. But I would lose $60, right? So when I would go to a free listing appointment, to me it was a listing appointment. To them, it was a free evaluation of their business. It cost me $60 plus the marketing that I was in the hole, maybe $100. But out of 10 people, I would list their business. And so I would do these direct mail campaigns. The mistake was not doing enough direct mail. And so when you're doing the one-to-one cold outreach, you got to do lots of direct mail, lots of cold emails, lots of cold calls, and you got to build a team to do that. But the secret is you're not going to call and offer your service. You're not going to call. I didn't call and say, hey, I'm a business broker and I'm going to help you sell your business. Hey, I'm a realtor. I'm going to help you sell your home. Hey, I'm a car dealership. I'm going to sell you a car. No, instead, you call with a lead magnet. That's something for free that you can provide to your prospective customer that attracts them to come into your service. You give them lots of value for free before they use your service. So let's show an example here. So here's a Russell Brunson formula that I really like. You got your who. You're going to think about fish. You got your who, your where, your bait, and the result. So your who is before you do anything in pillar number 3 or any of the pillars, which we're going to talk about pillar number 4, which is one-to-many cold outreach. You need to figure out who your ideal buyer persona is. You'll hear me say this over and over and over again. It's the pillar. It's the foundation to generating leads in your business. And so you got to decide who you want. And the way to do that is first decide who you figure out who your best customer is. Go look at your database. Who are the customers that are making 80% of the revenue and causing the least amount of problems? Who are the 20% of customers causing 80% of the problems? Focus on the people that you like in your business. So for example, I'm going to use real estate as an example again. If I was specific, I know I want a homeowner who's trying to sell their home on their own. They're male. They're between a certain age. They live in a certain market and they do a certain thing. I don't want all the real estate leads. I only want one type. I'm going to make the riches and the niches, right? I'm going to be laser focused on one specific person. At Voda, we're a franchise opportunity. People buy our franchise, right? We've been very intentional about we only sell franchises to what we call the mayor of the town. Our ideal franchisee is in their 35 to 55 years age, typically. They're typically male, some female, but many male, right? Or husband-wife teams. Again, that's just typically, we have all kinds of different scenarios, but overall, we're looking for very specific backgrounds. They have to have a sales or very specific operations background. They have to have an understanding of, they want to grow, they're coachable, they understand, maybe they play the team sport. Like we've driven up, our perfect franchise owners, right? We got, Bob the Builder. We got, Money Mike. We've got Passionate Pam, right? We've got these different buyer personas, and they actually have those fun alliteration names. And we create exact criteria of who we want as our ideal franchise owner. You do the same thing if you're in the painting business, right? I only want affluent homes that have been, owned for a certain amount of time, and I'm going to target that. And when you have an ideal buyer persona, what you can do is you can create ads that match your ideal buyer persona to a T. You can create ads that match them. And so you could say, all right, well, my ideal buyer persona, this guy, he drives my ideal buyer, drives an F-150 and he listens to Morgan Wallen. Well, I'm going to make an ad where my content, the Facebook ad I'm running on my one-to-many cold outreach is going to be, a Facebook ad, and the guy in the ad is going to be driving an F-150. He's not going to drive a BMW, right? My ideal buyer is driving an F-150, right? Maybe you take surveys of your current customers, you figure it out. And I'm going to play Morgan Wallen in the background. And I'm going to do everything I possibly can to match and mirror my ideal audience in my ads. And so first you figure out the who, which is who's your ideal buyer persona. The second thing you're going to figure out is where does that ideal buyer hang out? Where do they congregate? What's the body of water they're swimming around in if they're a fish? Are they in the pond? Are they in the lake? Are they in a puddle? Are they in fresh water? Are they in the ocean? Are they in a pool? Where are they? And my analogy is, are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Do they hang out on YouTube, on TikTok? Where do they spend most of their time? And then I would double down on those platforms. I'm not saying don't advertise on every platform. For me, I thought my ideal buyer hung out on LinkedIn. They're not there. I've learned that, my friend Aaron Harper, he says, LinkedIn's an echo chamber. He makes a great point. For whatever reason, I have 22,000 followers on LinkedIn. I post on LinkedIn. The only people see it, people in the franchise industry. All the people in the franchise industry just comment, and appreciate the comments. Don't stop doing that. But my ads and my value and my content is not leaving the algorithm. It's staying in this very contained place. And that is not my customer, right? My customer is an executive that's in a transition, that's thinking about owning their own business, right? And they want to take life into their own hands. And they're not clearly on LinkedIn, for me at least, right? I tried TikTok. I still do TikTok every day. But does it work? Jury's still out. My ideal buyer, he's probably not on TikTok. She's probably not on TikTok. So my ideal buyer is not hanging out on TikTok. They're on Facebook and they're on Instagram. You could argue some of my people are not on any of them because they're not scrolling around. They're busy working. But I would argue that our ideal buyer is on Instagram and is on Facebook. And so we're spending a lot more energy advertising to our ideal buyer on the platforms that they spend the most time, right? And so you've got to figure out, where are your ideal customers hanging out? Where are they congregating? The next thing is you're going to figure out the bait that's going to catch the fish. And the bait is what I call, well, I don't call it this, is what's called a lead magnet, right? That's what I was talking about with the business I had for sale. A lead magnet is a tool that you give to your prospective customer for free. So again, if I was a realtor selling to people who want to sell their own house on their own, my lead magnet would be a guide on how to sell your home by yourself. Here's how to sell your home without a realtor. And then at the end of the little book, I would say, and if you're not getting the results that you need and you want to expedite it, here's what to look for in a realtor. And then I would at the end maybe say, and by the way, if you're interested in using one, call me. Who do you think they're going to call? The likelihood is they're going to try to do it on their own. I know that the chances of them doing it is pretty low. They're going to start to see that, right? Nobody wants to be told what to do. They want to be told how to do it and how you did it and how you could do it. And then they want to trial and error and figure it out and come back to you. So you give them the guide and say, hey, I think you should sell your house on your own. I get it. Don't use a realtor. Here's a guide, right? Here's a guide. And then if this guide doesn't work, here's a guide on how to pick a realtor. And then if you use that, I'm here too. That's the way you sell. You create massive value. You create massive value by giving away a tool. When I was, in the franchise space in lead generation, we used to give away a free franchise information kit. And in that information kit, we found that most of our ideal customers, they wanted to know, most profitable franchises in America right now, or, what are the top 10 industries in franchising right now? And what we would do is we would give them that piece of information. And by the way, the degree of scale in your business relates to the degree of value you're willing to give away for free. Give away as much as you can. Stop thinking about, they're going to learn. No, give them what you need to give them. They're going to learn from you, and then they're going to come back and be great customers. They're going to self-select. They're going to raise their hand and say, hey, look, I'm an engaged, not only am I a lead, I'm an engaged lead, meaning I'm interested in talking to you after reviewing your content and being engaged in your content. So my advice is to give away free information in what's called a lead magnet, and give away the most you can that solves the result they're looking for, right? Let's use another example. If I was selling ski gear, right? If I was selling skis at a big ski shop, I would create some type of guide. Hey, I'm doing a free, fitting for skis, and we're giving away XYZ, to people to help them learn how to ski better. I'd have events at my ski lounge where, ski shop, where people are getting value. And then guess what? They're going to buy. I'll tell you a personal example. I went to a ski store in the winter, and I went to buy skis. And the guy taught me how to buy skis. He said, hey, you know what? Wait another year. You're getting a lot better. You're going to need better skis. I don't want to see you waste your money on skis. Come back to us. And he just talked and talked and talked. And I kept thinking, what the hell? I'm here to buy skis. Why are you talking to me out of buying skis? You know, next thing I know, I walked out of there with beautiful like ski gear equipment, jacket, gloves, helmet, ski pants. And where do you think I'm going to go back for ski gear? So this guy got me to buy what I actually needed. And then I can almost guarantee, unless it's some strange situation, I'm not in that area, I'll go back there, right? He gave me value. Give your leads lots of value up front, and then they'll self-select. So again, let's summarize. You're going to pick your ideal buyer persona. You're going to figure out where they hang out. You're going to create ads that appeal to them. You're going to give them a lead magnet, the bait that helps provide value to get them to their end result. And that's going to get a lot more leads coming in. And then you're going to take all of that. You're going to do one-to-one warm outreach. You're already doing that. Everyone does that, right? That's calling friends, family, referrals. You're going to go out and network. What I would then do is create content for free, valuable content, not selling, valuable content that helps other people. Put that out on your channels. That way you're going one-to-many warm outreach. Then you're going to move to pillar number 3, which is one-to-one cold outreach, right? We're going to do direct messages, direct mail campaigns, cold calls, one-to-many. And what are we going to do? We're going to do lots of them. And what are we going to have in the ad? We're going to have a lead magnet in the ad. You want to go knocking on doors? Go give people something that gives them value. When I sold Kirby vacuum cleaners, what I would do, they would teach you to do, is I would go to the home. I would call and say, hey, are you interested in a free shampooing? I come and shampoo your rug for free. I would go and I would shampoo their rug, 10 feet of it, and then I would try selling the vacuum. But they saw how good the vacuum was. And if they didn't see the value in the shampooing, I would take the rug and I'd go to the couch and I'd suck out all their, debris in their couch and in the cushions. And then you go up to the bed and you pull out all the, it's gross, but you pull out all the dead skin and you show them this container, more and more value. It's called a value stack, right? I showed them a pain that they didn't even know they had, right? Oh my God, you're going to sleep in this? It's disgusting. I was this 18-year-old kid, 17-year-old kid, just knocking on doors, going in homes, cleaning floors, providing value, and then showing them pain that they didn't even know they had. My bait, though, my lead magnet, was the free shampooing, right? What do timeshares do? And by the way, guys, these are all things that work. A lot of times people, they're so afraid of sales. Everything you buy is from a sale. Marriott timeshares. Marriott's an iconic brand. They have a timeshare sales department. Chase Bank, they have mortgage brokers that are selling mortgages, right? Everything is through a sales distribution channel. There's nothing dirty about it. Pick a product that you're selling that is good, that you're not, scamming people. But when you pick a good product, there's nothing wrong with finding ways to empower people to buy your product. And you're going to do that through creating value up front by giving away a lead magnet. Okay, so a lead magnet is, for example, the shampooing the rugs. Another lead magnet is timeshares. What about the timeshare? What are the best lead magnets they've got? You want to go on vacation? Go on vacation, hang out for the weekend. All you got to do is sit through a 2-hour presentation about a timeshare. I went to one of these once. I wanted to see what it was like, how good they were. They were incredible at selling, incredible. Now, I could argue that timeshares, it's a little bit of a hard sale. There's some negatives to it. But let's just take the framework. You're going on something so awesome and giving you value, letting you go on this vacation. Especially for someone that maybe can't afford a vacation, et cetera, as much, right? Maybe the timeshare could make sense. So they're going on this vacation, and then they're sitting in a 2-hour presentation, and they know that a certain amount are going to buy, and they know what their profit margin is on that, on that sale, and they know what their cost of acquisition, their CAC, customer acquisition cost is. They know what their gross profit after a sale is after the cost of acquisition. And they know that they close, and this comes to my next point, which is around KPIs. They know that for 1 out of 10 people that come, they're going to sell them a timeshare. It's worth 30 grand. It's going to cost them 3 grand per, whatever the math is. The math would work. You got to make sure your math works. But a lead magnet can be something that maybe doesn't cost you anything to do, or maybe it's something that costs you money. It's what's called a loss leader, right? It gets you in the door, and essentially, you're losing money on it, but you're getting deals out of it. Let's use McDonald's as a great example. When you go to McDonald's, they charge you $2.09 for a burger. You're hungry, you're going to McDonald's to eat the burger. And when you eat the burger, well, before you eat the burger, when you go to get the burger, you realize, oh, I'm probably going to be, this burger is going to make me thirsty. And maybe I want some fries. Well, maybe you don't think about that. But what McDonald's does is they pay $2, they pay $1, $1.91 in advertising to get you into the drive-through, through the drive-through. And they sell your burger for $2.09. They make like 18 cents. They don't make nothing on it. But what the magic question is, they ask, at the cashier will ask, would you like fries and a shake with that? Or would you like, a Coca-Cola and a shake with that? Whatever the saying is. They're asking you if you want this extra thing. You're already there, right? Do you want the extra thing? You want the Diet Coke? Yeah, sure. I'm already here. Well, guess what? They already paid the advertising to get you in the door. So now that extra $2, maybe $1.50 of its profit, right? The loss leader is the burger. That gets you in the door, and then they sell you a higher value ticket, right? It's the same thing with a dentist or anything. There's a value ladder where you ascend people up the ladder. The only way you're going to really make advertising work is by understanding loss leaders. If I was running, I run a carpet cleaning company, restoration and carpet cleaning. If you go do a cleaning job, and the cleaning job only makes you a few $100, but it gets you in the door to clean the floors and clean the carpet and clean everything else. Maybe you went there to clean the sofa for $100, and next thing you know, you're cleaning the whole house. Next thing you know, their brother-in-law is a plumber, and you're getting restoration work, right? And you're getting higher and higher average tickets. You got to understand the concept of loss leaders. Sometimes you're going to spend more in marketing than it costs to actually get a customer, but you're going to have a value chain, value ladder that you're going to send them up, and that's going to allow you to make money on the customer that you're bringing in. So let's summarize. You got your one-to-one warm outreach. What is that? That's going to friends, family, selling to people one-to-one that know you. Then you got one-to-many warm outreach. That's posting free content on Facebook, Instagram, Google, everywhere. Then you got one-to-many cold outreach. One-to-many cold calls, direct mail campaigns, email marketing, cold email, cold calls. One-to-many a cold. What trick to that? Lots of volume, lots of momentum. How do you do that? You create a sustainable system. I'm going to show you one in a second. Then you want to think about one-to-many cold outreach, which is paid ads, Facebook ads, Google My Business ads, SEO, paid media to advertise to many, right? Getting on podcasts that you paid for, anything where you're advertising to a cold audience that doesn't know you and you're pulling in through an ad that you're paying money towards, right? So let me give you a great example of cold outreach, one-to-many cold outreach. So, let me share my screen. I use a tool called Woodpecker, and it's a cold email outreach. So let's walk through this. I'm going to give you something really granular today. I want you to have something actionable that you can take away. So it's called Woodpecker IO. So you go to woodpecker.co. I'm going to put that in here. Woodpecker.co. And you log in. It's a pretty cool tool. Woodpecker.co is, so for example, I'm reaching out to property managers in Texas right now for a service. This tool, you can upload your prospects in here. And what you can do is you can create email campaigns to send cold emails. So right now, I just started this morning. I put 1,000 in. I'm going to put 100,000 in there in the near future. But I put 1,000 in, and I'm testing it out. Right now, it's running. And what it does is it sends out cold emails, which is kind of crazy. I'm going to show you how fast it is to make a campaign. So let's send a cold email campaign. Let's say if you're a franchise company and let's say you're looking for referral relationships. Let's say I was reaching out, I'm in restoration, so maybe I'm reaching out to a list of plumbers. Can we set up a referral relationship? This is to a plumber. I'm in restoration, right? Hey, can we send, and we could actually put the name in here. And what's crazy is you can utilize, let's go with formal, resourceful, length. Let's go super long. Let's give them a lot of content. And you could say, create an email that adds value and asks plumbers they would be interested in setting up a referral relationship, right? And so what you can do, my company, Voda Cleaning and Restoration, refers, a lot of business. Hey, go to me for lead gen, not spelling clearly. Refers a lot of business to plumbers. Could we meet for a coffee? Now, obviously it's AI, it's not perfect, but we're going to generate an email. And while that generates, give me 1 second. I'm going to show you what it does. All right, so what happens is, hey, hope this message finds you well. John, as a fellow professional home service industry, it's always a pleasure to connect with others who are dedicated to providing excellent service to our community. At Voda, we have to come across situations where our clients require plumbing services. As such, we are always on the lookout for reliable, quality-driven plumbing professionals to whom we can refer our valued clients. We believe that your reputation for high-quality work and customer satisfaction aligns perfectly with our own business values. We're interested in exploring the possibility of setting up a referral relationship with your business. This would allow us to confidentially recommend your services to our clients while also open the door to you refer clients in need of our cleaning and restoration services. This would be beneficial. Now you can add to this and put all kinds of value about the business, but this is literally now a cold email. Add a condition. If they open the email more than 2 times, then I'm going to send an email that says, let's meet for coffee. And then I'm going to generate it with AI. It's going to take 10 minutes to get all set up. It's unbelievable. And then we're following up, right? So then we're going to say, add a step. We're going to send another email, reaching out one more time, right? And what we're going to do, generate with AI. And then mark is not responsive. And then we can do, it's like a logic tree. If they didn't open the email, no, we're going to send a different email, right? We're going to say no, right? So no, they didn't open the email. Who are you referring restoration work to? And again, we can make this better, but we're just showing you an example, right? So I'm going to follow up. Add another step. Are you getting my emails? Now, again, you want to have a lead magnet in here. I would offer some type of free thing to help them with their business and give before you try to get. But this is just to give you an idea. This is an example of cold outreach that you're going to do. Okay, we're done. Then all you got to do is you scroll down, add your prospects from a database. All right, I already got it, my prospects, but whatever, you're going to add your prospects. You're going to buy prospects from data sources. There's all kinds of data sources out there. ZoomInfo, Slintel, Data Axle, ZoomInfo is a good one. There's a million. Now, these people do get a lot of emails, but you're going to have to, this is one tool. But now you imagine if you were sending 10,000 cold emails while also following up with a phone call, while also mailing them a direct mailer, while also remarketing to them on Facebook and Instagram, the people that you sent the mailer to, right? Like, this is what's called being omnipresent. Now, obviously, don't overdo it where you frustrate people. But to generate leads through cold outreach, you're going to have to do many attempts. You're going to do cold call, direct mail, Facebook ads, remarketing to them. You're going to leave a lead magnet. You're going to make the calls. You're going to do the LinkedIn outreach. So for cold email, I like Woodpecker. Now, if you like to do LinkedIn outreach, I highly recommend Zopto. Zopto for cold outreach on LinkedIn. This is a tool to reach out through LinkedIn, through direct messages out to people. And so what you do is you log in, there's an expense to this, but you log in, you create a campaign, you can pull lists from LinkedIn and you set up a campaign. Let's show you real quick. No, my LinkedIn's not connected right now, but you create a campaign and that's going to reach out to people to learn about your product or service. Now, again, remember, who's your ideal buyer persona? Not everyone's ideal buyer persona is on LinkedIn, but if they are, this is a great tool. All right, so thank you for joining us. Got a couple things I'll give away while we're on this podcast, on this live stream. So first thing, if you like my content, I put out a lot of content. If you're someone that is a business owner or thinking about owning a business, or maybe you're a prospective franchise owner or you're a home service owner, I've got the I Fired My Boss podcast I just sent here. If you want to join that, subscribe. I've also got the Home Services CEO Playbook podcast, which is great. It's for home service owners, and we talk about home services, how to scale a home services company. So I'll put that in the chat here. And then if you're really cool, I'm a big fan. If you're in home services, I'm a big fan of Tommy Mello. And I recently was on his podcast, one of my favorite podcasts we did together. Tommy grew a 200 million plus, business that he was able to exit and, for half the company and continue to grow it. And we had a great episode, hour and a half long, a lot of great content in there. So I'll pop that in the chat if you want to watch that or listen to that. And if you're someone that is interested in learning about franchises, specifically Voda, we've got the myvodafranchise.com. That's where our franchise is available. If you fill out the form, someone on the team will reach out and get you, learning about Voda. And I really appreciate everyone. We'll be doing more of these live streams. Thanks. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I will see you soon.